Uh-oh.
And
it's in low. What does that mean?
Just because he did it. Reaching the tires. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to a very special episode of Sally Speech Up. You guys might recognize this character, Mr. Dylan McCool, one of the kings of automotive revival here on YouTube. So he got word 2 years ago about this very special 1968 Dodge Charger that is all original, one owner, and been in a barn for the last like 12 years. Hasn't been on the road since 2007. So if you want to see us do all the work that gets this car right here back on the road, you need to go to his channel and check out all the nitty-gritty details of the mechanical aspect of it. And then we're going to be detailing it, cleaning it up, putting some sweet patina sauce on it, and going for a little cruise tonight. So stay tuned. It's going to be a good one. How do you feel, Dylan?
I am ecstatic. This car is beautiful, and if it were up to me, I would be taking it home with me, but that's okay. I would much rather see them actually do something with it, and I'm excited that we were able to be the people who helped them do that. They were such a blessing for us, and I'm honored to be able to be the one who got to turn some wrenches on a 68 Charger, and I'm so happy about it.
Perfect. Awesome, Dylan. Thanks for bringing me on. This was awesome, and there's still more work to be done because I'm going to show you guys around this car real quick and tell you a little bit of its story, and then we're going to get focused on cleaning this sucker up because it has over 10 years of barn dust on it, and it was sitting in that barn right there on this beautiful piece of land in Tennessee, and literally been in the family since brand new. Larry, he's still around. He's 80 years old, bought this car brand new at Music City Dodge, and it's been in the family ever since. His daughter Joyce drove it to high school, raced all the boys, took their lunch money, and now we're gonna get it back on the road for them. It already does run and drive. We got a couple more things to do to make it roadworthy, mainly cleaning it up and getting all the lights and everything to function. But other than that, she's pretty much ready to go. So yeah, what a killer car and what a killer story.
Car is done. It is fantastic. Again, we have to clean it up though. Jacob's gonna handle that. We pulled it out of the shop here, and we're gonna pull it over here to clean it. And then after we do that, we've got to take it for a drive. I'm ready to see that part. This is gonna be fantastic. I cannot wait to see what we do with it. We've got some stuff to make it really pretty, really shiny, and that's about it.
It's gonna be good.
How do you feel about that?
I'm so excited. We're gonna detail this car up, vacuum it out, clean it out, and go for a little cruise.
Woo!
So it's not a super heavily optioned car, but it does have a 318 with a 727, I assume, that was rebuilt, both engine and transmission. This is 30 over, transmission was gone through. It's got all brand new four-wheel drum brakes, no power assist. It does have power steering, and it was blue with a black vinyl top with a blue interior. And the patina on this car is absolutely perfect. Luckily, Coker Tire hooked us up with a set of their American Classic tires in the stock size for a 14-inch wheel with the white line out, because that's what was on this car back in the day. Classic Industries helped out with a bunch of parts to get a new gas tank in it, some new parts to make the engine run, and it all just turned out really nice. And Jonathan and his daughter Macy helped out a bunch, so they're gonna come help me clean this car in a second. But they cleaned up and painted these wheels with some Duplicolor wheel paint, and it looks great. You guys come over here. So Macy right here is a 14-year-old, and this is the very first car she has ever worked on. What 14-year-olds can say that? So what made you want to work on this car in particular?
This car in particular?
Yeah.
Like my aunt's car?
Yeah.
I mean, I just wanted to see her happy.
That's awesome.
She loves this car so much, and I wanted her to be able to drive it again.
And you wanted a 68 to 70 Charger anyway.
Yeah.
And she happens to have one you can mess around with.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she came to me one day and was like, "Dad, I want to help you rebuild an antique car." And I was like, first of all, I was over the moon, right? Like, what dad doesn't want to hear that? And then, so I was like, "All right, well, which car do you want?" And she's like, 68 to 70 Charger. And my heart just sank. I was like, but that's like the hardest car to find. It's most expensive to recycle. So I was trying to talk her out of it. And we were telling the story at a wedding we were at, and my cousin Joyce was like, "But you know, I've still got Dad's car in a barn."
That barn, right there.
Right, yeah, right here. Yeah, and so it was like, well, you know, would it be possible for Macy and I to come look at it, just to see if she was even interested in working on a car or something like that? And then we got to, you know, came install the car, and I was like, all right, so how do you start working on a 68 Charger barn find? So I went to YouTube, where else, found Mr. Dylan McCool's channel, and I was like, hey, I saw that you were from Tennessee. Any chance that you can tell me how would I start to work on a car? 2 years ago, we started this conversation. And so since then, we've talked back and forth up until today, where we finally can come out here. She and I got to work on an old Charger. Are you thinking you might want to work on another one? Okay.
I actually have lowered my standards. I was like, I'll settle for a truck. You know, it's reliable. I can work on it. You know, it's easy to get under the car, and then I can drive it around when I finally get my permit. So I've lowered my standards, but I still want to work on this one for sure.
Well, it's here to work, and look at it. It is beautiful. Dylan's still trying to buy it. But what we're gonna do right now is clean this car up. So we're gonna do a Dylan McCool special. People have accused me of being Dylan McCool in the past when I pressure washed anything. Apparently he is the man of pressure washing.
Bad thing to be accused of. I think that's kind of nice. I thought.
So we're gonna
a compliment.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not upset. Dylan's a great guy, and you know, he's got cool cars. So if I'm confused for Dylan, I don't care. But we're gonna take a page out of his book, and we're gonna pressure wash this car right here in the driveway, clean out all the stuff, and get it roadworthy and ready to be taken out on the town this evening. So it has sat since, it has been off the road since 2007, sat since 2012.
Burnouts.
And Dylan wants burnouts.
I want burnouts. Big smoky burnouts. We have to do the Coker tire special.
Okay.
How are you supposed to set a new set of tires in?
Yeah, that's how you make them round.
Break them in, yeah.
But yeah, so first things first, we're gonna break out the pressure washer, roll up the windows, and just clean this car with a pressure washer, and do everything we can. We're not gonna spray directly into the carburetor, but we are gonna spray out the engine bay a little bit because it's really dirty, and we'll break out a vacuum, get all the rodent shells out of the valley of the engine, and then focus on the inside once we have the outside clean. So let's get after it. So I'm gonna get some before shots of this thing so you can see the difference. It's got cap prints on the windshield. It's got a bunch of dirt in every single seam. The vinyl top, we're gonna pick some pieces off of this, maybe come in with some scissors and cut what we can. The gas cap is gonna clean up and be shiny again. We're gonna get rid of all of this junk, and yeah, it's gonna be nice. For starters, I'm actually gonna do something that I normally don't do, but this car is so dirty. Do you have the key, Jonathan? It's not in the ignition. I was gonna sweep out the actual seams because there's so much dirt in there. Before it gets wet, we'll sweep that out.
Ignition, or you want
Round key, yeah. So weird thing with Mopar keys, they go upside down because that makes sense. We're just gonna get rid of this stuff before we get it all wet. Yeah, so I'll clean all this up, and then they're gonna get the pressure washer and go to town. Might have to grab it by hand. So many leaves, considering it was in a barn. I think it sat outside for a couple of years.
8.
Before it went, 8?
8 years outside the barn before it went in 2011.
So we got a mix of barn dust and outside leaves and rodents and all that stuff. So it's definitely an interesting combination of stuff, but we'll get that cleaned out a little bit. And that way we aren't fighting it when it's wet. We'll deal with it while it's dry. Now the rest of it, we'll just go to town with a pressure washer. And then we'll work on cleaning all this junk out once we get the outside clean. Perfect. Let's get after it. When we moved the car, we actually found this little guy. He's not looking so good. So I think there were some gophers living under the car. I think that's a little gopher. Sorry, buddy. But yeah, let's get started pressure washing it. And I'll do some little highlights of the first bit of pressure washing. And then it's just gonna be time lapse for you guys. So follow along.
Seems like they just don't get our ways. They try to control what we say. Funny things will never go away. It's who we are. We drink iced tea out of jars. We ride in trucks, put our time in at the farm. Nothing wrong with a little Southern charm, it's who we are.
So I'm gonna cut a little bit of this ratty vinyl top off because it's fallen off. So got a pair of scissors. I'm just gonna cut where it's loose and leave the rest for now. all-day pressure wash. You can just watch the years of moss and mildew and dust just go away. I love that sticker too down there, so got to see it with some color on it again. That's awesome. All right, I want to focus on this top real quick.
Born and raised to have a loving heart. If they try to change us, they won't get very far. And what's a song without a steel guitar? It's who we are. You can see it in the evening news. They try real hard to push their views. Guess they've never been in someone else's shoes. It's who we are. We drink iced tea out of jars. We ride in trucks, put our time in at the farm. Yeah, nothing wrong with a little southern charm. It's who we are. Born and raised to have a loving heart. If they try to change us, they won't get very far. And what's a song without a steel guitar? It's who we are. It's who we are. We've all seen better days, but I guess it all depends. If they keep pointing their finger at us, there'll be three pointed back at them. Who we are, we drink iced tea out of jars. We ride in trucks.
All right, spray that down off.
It's looking good. Look at that. Looks like there was some an antenna mounted here at one point.
Hey,
See a little.
It's probably a CB engine.
Yeah, I bet there was a CV in this thing because her dad was a trucker, so he probably had a CV in this thing. And I think it's actually in a box in the garage. We had a CV in a box that we moved.
Nice.
I bet it was the antenna for his CV. That's cool.
Born and raised to have a loving heart. If they try to change us, they won't get very far. And what's a song without a steel guitar? It's who we are. It's who we are. It's who we are.
Now we got the outside of the car mostly cleaned off. We'll have to go back and detail it a little, but I want to clean out the engine bay a little bit. And you can't just hose everything down. I mean, you could probably get away with it on these old cars, but we're going to be pretty picky about where we spray. You don't want to spray directly into the alternator. You don't want to spray directly into the air cleaner. Try to avoid the obvious important things. Don't spray the distributor directly either. And just clean the edges, and then it'll make the engine bay look a lot better. So we're going to do that real quick. Joyce used to drive this thing to high school, and apparently this is the last plate she took off of the car, and then it was officially parked in 07. So this was her high school license plate number, which the cops probably have on record from her racing boys for lunch money. But what you think, Dylan?
This thing is looking really good.
Yeah, and all we've done is just wet it now, and we haven't put anything on it yet. So
yeah, the blue is popped. The tires, I mean, look at how white that is. It looks, the Coker tires really clean up nice.
Yeah, I used the Sweet Patina Icky Sticky Tire Shine, and that stuff doesn't make you like super shiny tires, but it cleans them up really nicely. That way they're not like wet looking, but they're black, and they just look perfect on here.
Put some on the top. What's left of it?
Yeah, that's not a bad idea actually. So we should do that because it'll get the brown out of it, the little dirt spots. So now that we got the car hosed down, the engine bay cleaned up a little bit, we're gonna do the detail work of cleaning all this stuff out, digging through some of the cool stuff we find, and going through the interior of the car, and then getting the vacuum out and cleaning up this interior, wiping all the dust out of it. This thing's coming along nice though. And of course, you can't forget the Dale Earnhardt tag. We even cleaned it up. Do it for Dale. So we'll have to wipe down the valve covers and stuff, but everything's a lot cleaner.
I'm gonna put the cable back on.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and fix the brake lights.
Gotcha. So that's one issue we were having, was one of the brake light switch is too far adjusted out now that we've swapped the master cylinder. It's a slightly different length on the rod, and he's got to adjust that back to spec. Oh, is there water in there?
It's a Dodge. We got a slight leak in here.
It's not that bad.
Yeah.
I've seen worse.
They did that when they were new, so it's okay.
That would explain why these cars are generally very rusty. But this one,
at the door seal, so it's not like it's the wind.
Yeah, that's
you
fair.
can see it running down.
but this thing is remarkably rust free. It's only got a couple holes on the other side of the car. This side is virtually flawless. And make all you northern guys jealous. Look at that door jamb. It's not even fair. So anyway, all right, time to clean the inside of this thing out and break out the vacuum and start vacuuming however many years of dust and dirt and rat poop and all that good stuff out of this car.
These are pretty much trash, right?
Yeah, everywhere.
Where you want me to throw the trash at?
I don't know.
I got one more after this. Mold. Hey, what you said?
All right, while they're cleaning out the back, Dylan's apparently doing some electrical work, and I'm gonna clean the engine bay up and make it look as nice as I can under here without obviously taking everything apart. So, cut to the time lapse. We're digging through the trunk of this car right now, seeing what has been in here. So there's some old car cover or bed sheets, jack stands. That's an interesting type of old bumper jack. And then there's the factory jack over there.
It broke. It got that one chews it too.
Oh, it messes up the bumper?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's the factory jack over there still. There's the original spare probably.
It won't do nothing.
No, you got to use new jacks nowadays. That's why he's got an extra jack.
Bottle jack.
Yep. So this is actually Larry right here. He is the original owner of this car. Bought it brand new in 1968, passed it on to his daughter, and now we got Macy taking up the reins, and she wanted to get this thing back on the road. So she's here smartly wearing a mask for all the asbestos and stuff that's probably in this trunk. But that'll be fine, it builds character. So we're gonna get it cleaned out, get the vacuum in here, and get it super nice in here. And then we're gonna dig through the inside of the car and see what kind of goodies are in here as well, because there's definitely some stuff. And there's a Dylan McCool.
Hi.
What are you doing?
Fixing brake lights. Under it just barely misses it, so I might have to bend it around.
Yeah, probably. But look at this. Is it on?
What's on?
The freaking center console dome light, courtesy light. It's lit up with the door opening like it's supposed to be. How cool is that? Anyway, it's raining a little bit, which is fine because the car's already wet and we got to detail it out anyway. So we'll let this thing dry off. We might even put it in a garage if it keeps raining and vacuum it out in there, and that way we can put some sweet patina sauce on it and preserve this patina and make it really pop. It's going to change the way this car looks a lot. So rather than doing a clear coat, if you put this patina sauce on it, it just seals it in, and it'll never fail. You just reapply it when it gets old and needs reapplied, and man, I can't tell you how much good it does for a patina car. And then you can always paint it later if you want to, but You know, here we like patina. According to Joyce, the round key, which is the trunk key, also does the center console. Oh, it's open? Here, let's see what's in it. I'm gonna reach over Dylan real quick while he works on the brakes and find out what we got going on here. Because the center console always has the best stuff.
Hey, look.
You got cassette tapes? Have you ever listened to a cassette tape? No.
No, definitely not.
So what do we got? We got some mixtapes. These are custom because they have their own labels. So she was in high school. I bet some boy made it for her. Let's see. More mixtapes. These are all mixtapes. She liked her own mixes. She didn't listen to anybody's albums. Apparently they're all a mixtape.
I wonder if we could find somewhere that would work.
Oh, I bet they probably will.
I mean, everything else in this car's been in perfect condition.
Yeah, exactly. So.
A lovely handkerchief.
Got a handkerchief. So, that's pretty cool. Well,
This is something I'd have in my car.
Oh, what is that?
Hello.
What is it?
Tissy Office Education Clubs.
It's like a little puffball with googly eyes on it.
I love it. Campground.
Oh, is that the OG cigarette lighter? Probably is. It goes in the dash right there. Here, just pop it in there. Don't push it in all the way, just partly. Yeah, there you go. There you go, back to its home. Blue Devil Country, that must be one of the mascots. Is that for Duke? Were they Duke fans? Duke Blue Devils?
Sure. Radio Shack, nice.
Radio Shack, yeah. Blue Devils or Lebanon?
I think so.
And you gotta say that Lebanon, I learned.
Hello.
Have a rainbow day. There's a
Joyce-
lot of rainbows on this
Joyce
car.
loves rainbows.
That's awesome. Look, there's another rainbow.
Real quick, could you do me a favor?
That's
and,
cool.
Check the brake lights.
So yeah, I'll check the brake lights for Dylan real quick.
It was just flat.
They're not on right now.
Huh?
They're not on right now.
Tell me when they come on.
There you go.
All right, we're good.
Fixed.
Going off.
Yeah. Hey, look, Dylan.
Oh, there they are.
That's one of them things.
For the parking brakes. There was not, these weren't on there. And we were like, well, I guess the parking brakes aren't gonna work. Well, that's why. This is what's in the trunk.
Well, we were missing the spring anyway,
Yeah.
so it wouldn't have worked.
That's pretty funny though. There's the parking brake piece for one side. So we'll keep that with the, this could stay with the car. Oh, old windshield wipers?
It's the chrome.
We can refill that.
Yeah, you get a new piece of rubber for it.
Yeah.
It only has the one. I don't know what
Is that the
that one is.
original?
Oh, that's his old CB, probably.
Oh, yeah. Is that
What is this?
Or is it tire?
Right there. You got it.
Oh no, it's a cinder.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
That's the ones that I got. This one broke at the, and I got a new one.
For
So
the
you
oil
got a
pressure?
new one, yeah, oil pressure
That's oil
cinder.
pressure, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then you put your gauge in. So you didn't like the light anymore, you gave yourself
No,
a
he
gauge?
he wouldn't do nothing.
Oh, gotcha. Oil pressure gauge is always the move. This trunk's pretty nice. It's only got like one little hole, right? I think right here there's a little hole. Just one little spot. The rest of it's pretty solid. It's a remarkably good car. It's even got some fuel line, I think. Yep, there's some old fuel line.
Yeah.
Lifeline. That's cool. Just a few little goodies. Battery hold down, extra mud flaps,
Yeah.
some bolts. You never know when you're gonna need a bolt.
Macy found something. She wanted.
Oh yeah?
Well, I found several things, but I wanted to show
Ooh, what is this? Oh, those are cool. So you got an old tack. That looks like a Stuart Warner tack. Or no, Sun Electric. That's cool. That's a vintage tack right there. And then an old stoplight. That's very cool.
Everything in the world, isn't it?
Yeah, you got a little bit of everything. That's super cool. Those are some vintage units right there. Yeah, the only real spot that I see, you know, I'm only lifting it back a little bit, is that back corner, because we looked at this from the bottom and it's solid through here.
Yeah. Oh,
It'll
no,
need some patchwork,
Yeah, definitely this patch.
but as a whole for a Charger, it's really nice out back. Yeah, there's still floor there, though. You just got some flakiness from up there. That's really not that bad.
Yep. Okay.
So we'll just put that there. It's fixed.
Fixed.
Fine.
Yeah.
Ready for the road. So you can get the shop vac and just vacuum it out back here and make it look nice and pretty. What you got going on in here?
My favorite so far has been the Pepsi bottle.
Oh, the Pepsi cap is good.
But I
Yeah.
saw a little bit of it. I want to pull it out. Teacher slip.
Oh, it's like a hall pass or
Yeah.
an admission slip. That's pretty funny. And that's for Joyce?
Yep.
It has
Absent
Joyce-
all day. Very naughty.
Oh no, she was
Thanks,
out racing
Mom.
boys with her Dodge Charger.
I don't know.
That's awesome. There's all kinds of
I gotta
cool
talk to her.
cool little details.
I gotta talk to her because there are several.
There's a
slips.
lot of absentee slips there. And even little notes. What do we got? Some potatoes on sale. Oh yes,
Nice.
that's what you want. Carton of Diet Pepsi and carton of French dressing.
Nice.
That's her shopping list.
That's that's all the basics.
Yep, that's awesome. So I just finished cleaning up under the hood, and Macy's been in the car cleaning the inside.
We have breakfast in bed,
Yeah,
on the go. There's a camp chair in the back.
they're ready.
There are several mellow yellow, like tabs, cans in the back, in the front. I thought it was fun.
That's cool.
And there's more to come. I know there's a Dr. Pepper can in there somewhere.
Yeah, I saw it. I think it's right here behind the seat. Right here.
Oh, there we go.
An
Oh,
old,
it's the old label.
it's a slightly older label of Dr. Pepper.
And I can see an antenna sticking up right there.
Yeah, so I wonder if this was his CB. Oh yeah, so this is his CB antenna that was here on the deck lid. You can see the little round spot where it was sitting. So that's the antenna that was on the deck lid of this car for all those years. That is cool. That almost needs to go back on there. That's awesome.
Hey, wasn't this the package we were doing earlier?
I don't know what that is. It's a different one. Open it up, see what we've got. We've got a little rain apparently, which is nice.
Oh, that's fine.
So it's
Not
another
much is-
sending unit. That looks like that's either oil or temperature. I think that's oil. So that's an oil pressure sender. He was having some oil pressure sender issues, and so he just put an oil pressure gauge on it because that's how you know it'll be fine. There's your old CB antenna
Yeah.
that used to be on the trunk. How cool is that?
I don't know.
It literally, you can still see the round spot on the trunk where that was sitting for a bunch of years. It's still got blue paint under where that was sitting. So that's pretty awesome. But yeah, we're getting close to getting a vacuum in the interior and then wiping the dash down and making everything as nice as we can. Cleaning up these door panels, cleaning the inside of the glass, and then it's about time for a cruise. We're not gonna sit in the back seat because it's actually still intact. We're gonna recondition it, so we're only gonna ride 2 people in this car, and then we're gonna clean up 2 of the hubcaps and put them on the driver's side of the car so they can figure out if they want no hubcaps or hubcaps on this car, because they only have 3 out of 4. Apparently there's a story behind it where the one was lost, but
Is this a shower curtain?
I'm pretty sure, yeah, shower curtain rod. There's a little bit of everything in here. You could have a yard sale out of this car. Anyway, all right, time to get to work. I'm gonna break out 2 of the hubcaps and get them cleaned up right here on this killer gooseneck trailer we got as a base to work off of. So, unfortunately, it started kind of raining pretty good on us. So, Dylan gets to drive the car for the first time in the pouring rain. Horn works, and we're gonna take this thing up into the garage. And I got 2 hats on again. We're gonna take this thing up into the garage and finish cleaning it up in there. And we'll be putting some patina sauce on it to make it repel water.
If they let me sit in the driver's seat for too long, we're gonna be spinning tires. Right now.
We need to find, they have asphalt up at the top of their property,
That is true.
on their property. So if a cop shows up, I'm on private property, sir. I don't know what you're talking about. How do you feel driving this car?
This is great. I'm gonna flip the headlights up just because I can.
Of course, required.
It drives like it steers great. I mean, that's awesome.
Look at that oil pressure. It's like 70 pounds of oil pressure at
Awesome.
idle.
That is awesome. No, it feels good to drive a Charger. It never gets old. You want to back it in or pull it in?
You can pull it in straight.
Okay. Swing her wide.
Man, look at that power steering.
Yeah.
Oh, you're totally good. You got tons of room. Like tons of room. You're like 4 feet off the wall. And pull it out. You leave it a little sideways so that door can open up.
Okay.
Because there's tons of room over here. There we go. It's in the garage.
We're good.
Tiny bit more, because we're gonna be working around the back a little. All right, right there's good.
Well, we were trying to leave enough room so we can walk around it on that side. Is it? Okay. Just tell me how far I can go out of it.
That's about it, Yeah, you're good there.
I can't move the full table.
No, that's a little heavy.
Yeah.
Look at that. The Charger is looking killer with its new wet shine. This is not the sweet patina sauce yet. This is just water. So we're gonna have to clean this thing off and dry it off. And then we'll be putting some patina sauce on this thing.
Charge the battery up.
Yeah. Well, they got a new battery, so we'll be all right.
I just like listening to it run.
Oh, it does sound good. So Dylan got to drive the Charger, and now it's in the garage. This would have been a way better spot to work on it. This is nice.
What's wrong with that?
Smooth concrete, not gravel. And you can watch us go roll around in the gravel on Dylan's channel. It's a good time. Instead of bringing it right up the hill and using a nice garage.
Honestly, we didn't even ask.
No, we didn't. Didn't even think about
They
it.
cleared this spot out for us, and I didn't even ask about it.
That just shows what Dylan is willing to do for you guys on the internet. I know you love to watch us suffer, so we suffered for you.
It
But
wasn't on purpose, I promise.
no.
We're just idiots.
Yeah, we're just dumb. So we're gonna put a new battery in it and clean out the inside here in the garage, which is nice because we're actually starting to lose light a little bit too. So we now have shop lights, but not too bad.
That engine looks fantastic now with the clean
Yeah.
valve covers. And
I wiped the valve covers off. They painted the air cleaner.
looks great.
Look at that. Nice frostbite. Cap.
We were desperate.
So the rubber had gotten split on the old cap, so I just grabbed the one off my truck just to drive it around. So we'll need that to drive home though. But man, this thing looks so good like this.
Hey, honestly, if you wanted to do the patina stuff on the inner fenders too.
Yeah, we honestly should.
Yeah, it'll make it look really good.
Yeah. So we're gonna let this thing dry off. I'm gonna dry it off with some microfiber towels actually, and then we'll put the patina sauce on it when it dries. But Joyce, what do you think seeing your car in a garage after all these years?
Yay! I think it should be like that all the
You
time.
think it's gonna stay in here now?
Yeah, I think
Sorry, he's getting his car kicked out of the garage.
I don't think that I
We'll have to talk about that.
Yeah, it looks good in here. I gotta say, it's almost made for it. But I'm a bad influence. He's not gonna like me anymore. But yeah, we're gonna get Macy and her dad in here to finish cleaning up the inside. They already got the trunk nice and clean, so we put the shop vac in it because we're gonna need that to do the inside. But as for the actual stuff that was in the trunk, it's looking way better. We got some of my tools left, but other than that, they got everything cleaned out and vacuumed out, and we'll just have to wipe down the mat and make it look virtually brand new. Yeah, this is awesome.
The battery rolled down in the trunk, didn't
It did, yeah. Larry got it, but it didn't work with yours because of the side posts. So
Yeah,
he was trying to put it on, and I was like, "Oh, you're gonna arc across the side posts."
Yeah, we'll get that on there so we can. Which the good thing about these battery trays is that they're like literally a tray.
Yeah, you would have
Size.
to jump it full General Lee style to make it come out.
Can we? No. Stop it.
The best part is Dylan's hair. He's been under the dash, and
It
he
makes it bad?
has like all kinds of junk in his
Oh
hair.
wow, it's worse than I thought.
There's still a bunch.
See, I don't look in a mirror enough. That's the problem. You guys don't tell me.
Look at the car we just cleaned is getting covered by Dylan's dandruff.
It's me. I'm worse. Oh.
Anyway, back to work. We're gonna get this thing dried off and start cleaning up the inside, putting the sauce on it. So we just wiped the whole car down. It's still a little wet, so we're gonna let it dry for a few minutes and work on the inside and get a vacuum in here and start vacuuming. Dylan is still chasing wires everywhere. We got working headlights, working brake lights, but no tail lights. So the running light side of the car is not working. And I think Dylan's going a little insane. How you doing, buddy?
I don't know.
You all right?
The fuse is good, so that's not it.
So he's been working on it for like an hour plus, and I said, "Have you checked the fuse?" And he said, "No, I'm gonna be really mad if it's burnt or missing." But at least the fuse is there.
I don't know if I'm happy or sad. I haven't figured that one out yet. But
It would be nice if that had been the problem,
yeah, it would have.
but
not.
it would have been a little humbling.
Yeah.
But we eat humble pie all the time around here, so I'm used to it. But yeah, we're gonna let this thing dry for a few minutes and focus on the inside, and then we're gonna get our sweet patina sauce and make this thing look awesome. So you can see it's starting to dry. You can see what the rust on the hood normally looks like, and then where it's wet, that's actually kind of what it's gonna look like all the time. And so it'll give it a nice deep shine. It'll bring the color of the paint back to where it looks nice, and it'll look good rolling down the road. And it'll preserve it, and we'll keep it from rusting further. So, bunch of good stuff. We also need to clean some hubcaps for this side and toss some hubcaps on one side of the car. Because we only have 3, so we figure we can have one side of the car look different than the other, but you can't see both at the same time, so it's okay. It makes sense if you don't think about it, guys. So the car is about dry enough to put the sauce on it now, and I'm gonna have Jonathan, who goes by Dwayne as well. We don't really know his name because there's multiple names there. What did we decide we're calling him? Jonathan, Dwayne, Rooster.
Yep.
There's a lot of names going on. They're gonna vacuum out the car and get these hubcaps cleaned up, because we got 2 that are gonna go on the other side of the car. So we added chrome lug nuts on this side. We couldn't find left-hand thread chrome lug nuts, so we're gonna cover the old rusty ones up with 2 of the original hubcaps. So they're gonna get these wiped down. They're gonna go on there, and I'm gonna start putting on the patina sauce and show you guys just the difference it makes on these old cars.
Give me some needle nose pliers.
Needle nose pliers? Why, yes, sir. I like that. The way that courtesy light lights up your face is very nice.
Do I look friendly?
It looks kind of creepy, actually, but you know. All right, needle nose pliers coming right up. Service truck has been an absolute champ. The fact that I have all the tools I need in one spot is seriously the best thing ever. So, I'm gonna grab him some needle nose, and he'll be good to go. Look at that, right there, ready to go. There you go, sir.
All the tools your car will ever need, service truck.
Perfect. I'm really glad Dylan's fixing the wiring for the taillights, because laying under a dash like that is not that great.
Well, once I get in here, it's not bad. It's just the getting in and getting out.
Yeah, you're stuck in there forever now.
I felt bad about the master cylinder earlier, so I'll do this one.
Perfect. Thank you. And meanwhile, Jonathan Dwayne Rooster.
Oh, it's just Jonathan.
He is from Macy's, but it's like an engine Macy's garage. So if you want to check him out on YouTube for more updates on this car and various life lessons, check him out. I'll drop his link in the description, and I'm sure there's going to be some cool stuff to come. But he's cleaning up the hubcaps, which is another job I didn't want to do. So perfect. It's working out well right now. So Dylan, you need help? Yeah, please. You're stuck in here?
Yeah.
I need to switch hands. Oh, don't hit your face.
It would be the first. I'm stuck.
Oh no, the car's not letting go. Sometimes you got to help your friend out of a jam. But yeah, now it's time to clean this. Man, it's a mess in here.
Before you do, I want to put these screws back in because I don't want them to get sucked up somewhere.
You do your thing. You got plenty of time. She's working on that side real quick. Working. And brake lights. Oh man. Yeah. That's awesome, man. Great work. He couldn't let it go without taillights, and that's understandable. Taillights are very important. And now I'm gonna start putting the sweet patina sauce on this whole car, and it's gonna change the way this thing looks entirely. It's gonna be awesome. So cut to the time lapse. So just putting the third coat of wax on now, right, Biff? Nope, she's ready to go. So we got the patina sauce on this thing, and man, what a transformation. We did the front of the engine bay as well as the inner fenders too, and the engine bay looks pretty great compared to how it looked when we started.
Look at this.
Oof. Oof. Man, that looks killer.
Get it right here, look at this.
Jeez.
And right here with the shop lights.
Yeah, you get the nice reflections on it. The car is shiny for the first time in quite some time. Macy's in there, finish up cleaning up the dash, and
Wow.
it looks a million times better than it did when we started this whole thing.
Sure does.
Now, it's time to take it out on the town. So that was the whole goal, was to make it drive. What do you think about it, Joyce?
I think it looks wonderful.
It's pretty shiny, right? For
Yeah,
an
it is.
old rusty car.
It does. Oh my goodness, that's so miracle.
No, and this stuff, the water will bead on it. And if you ever wanted to paint it, you just degrease it and then it's ready to paint. Not that you should paint it. This car looks perfect as it is. But I got to give a big thank you to my friend Blake over at Sweet Patina. He's a big supporter of everything I do. And he makes this patina sauce. And I can tell you, it is the cat's meow for these old cars. Just look at that thing. You can see the blue popping against the rust right there, and it also smells pretty amazing. I'm a fan of that. So if you're looking for a way to protect your patinaed car, I highly recommend this stuff. They're a great company out of Texas, family owned, and they actually raise money for ALS. So if you're looking for a great company to support, check out these guys and all of their detailing products. Thanks, Blake. So here's Larry. He's checking out his car he bought brand new. And she found some super cool stuff in this car. So
This one's my favorite.
there's this old necklace that I assume belonged to Joyce. It's got some
She
prayer
told-
hands on it.
She told me that it belonged to her great aunt.
It belonged to your great aunt. So it's had a longer family history.
Yes, exactly.
Man, that is awesome. This is so cool.
Dad, don't get in the bag.
Oh, he's getting in the front.
No way he's getting in the back. He's getting in the front. It is my car. I'm getting in the
He's checking things out. So super cool. That is the original owner of this 1968 Dodge Charger. He bought it off the dealership lot and drove it home, and then they've put 139,000 miles on this car and have so many stories to tell. And if you want to see more of those stories, go check out Dylan's channel, and it's well worth the watch. So the Charger is all cleaned up and looking perfect. Dylan's putting some Rain-X on the windshield. Macy did a great job, cleaning up this interior and wiping all of the mildew and stuff off the dash. It looks fantastic. We didn't touch the back seat because it's really dry right now, and if you put a knee in that or sat a butt in it, it would crack. So they're gonna put some nice restorer on that to bring it back. And me and Dylan are about to take it out to a quick trip and put some ethanol-free gas in it, because you want to run ethanol-free in these old cars with their carburetors, especially if you let it sit.
I'll see if it'll start without me touching the gas pedal.
It will. Didn't even touch the gas pedal.
Like a new car. Like a new car, ain't it?
Turn the lights on, Dylan. Dylan's kicking the lights on. The doors kick open, just like they should. Got the marker lights working now. And we even got working tail lights. And we're ready to go to the gas station real quick and show this thing in some gas station light. I'm super excited to get this on the road. This is awesome. So here we go. Larry's ready to take this thing for a spin. Yeah, it's charging. It's just at idle, it doesn't charge very well. So once you rev it up a little,
It's gone down to nothing.
it's acting like on the gauge, it's showing nothing on the alternator. So we should, yeah. It jumped up for a second.
Not much though.
So it's kind of intermittent, so it probably needs a new alternator. But we can drive it to the gas station and back. So got a slight charging issue, but we'll bring a I'll bring a little jump box just in case it doesn't start after we get gas.
When he revs it up.
A little bit, but it's bouncing around, so it's not happy. And it wasn't really working great when we first started it up, but then it came back around. So when cars sit, stuff goes bad. It'll need a new alternator. It'll need a different alternator belt, but she's a runner, and she's about to take her first trip to the gas station.
Whoop. Hey, turn those off so we don't scratch the window. Yeah, I don't work. The wipers work. We could put wipers on it. They work.
The wipers work. It does have an e-brake you gotta pull off. The granny gear. See, the amp meter just jumps around. I think it's charging and then it's not. So it's there's like the contacts in that alternator are finicky. So me and Dylan are going for a little cruise in the 68 Charger we just revived for this family, and then we got cleaned up. We're gonna get it under some gas station lights and show you just how good this thing looks. Man, it's so awesome to be in this car with it running and driving. You wouldn't believe that a day ago this car had been sitting for over 12 years.
Right. I'm blind.
So we got some alternator issues. The lights are kind of on again, off again, but we're cruising down the road, and that's what counts.
We got 3 gears.
Hit all 3, yeah. So we're gonna drive to the gas station, put some gas in it, and yeah, the lights are coming and going. So definitely needs an alternator. Not surprising at all. Brakes work?
Yeah, they're a little spongy, but they're good.
So let me see. How do you feel about it, Dylan?
It's a little steamy in here, isn't it?
A little bit. I think the heater core's got a slight leak,
Yeah.
but she's a runner. Pretty awesome.
How you doing? There's steam rolling out of the heater core right now, Jacob. What do you think?
We got a little bit of a leaky heater core, but it's running down the road, and that's what counts. Look at the windshield in front of you steaming up.
We're fogging up my camera a little bit. The heater core's a little angry.
I feel like Dodge's heater cores go bad really easily when they sit. I've replaced like 4 this year.
Hey, the speedometer's working.
Ooh, look at
I
that.
wonder how accurate it is. It says I'm doing 35 right now.
I feel like that's probably pretty
Oh,
accurate.
that's a human. Hello.
Gotta love the alternator letting the lights flicker.
Yeah, the alternator is not charging at certain RPMs. It just kind of does what it feels like.
Yeah, if you let off the gas, I bet it jumps up. No. Oh, yeah.
See, the headlights start to get brighter if you don't have any RPM built up.
It's weird. And it runs good. It's smooth. It's comfortable. We're doing like 35. Even the speedometer works on this thing. And we're going to that gas station right up there to put some ethanol-free gas in it. And then we'll drive it home. Hopefully.
Like to my home?
No, back to their house, Dylan. Sorry. Man, this is wild. What a cool weekend. We made it to the gas station. Oh man, this car just drove its first 2 miles since 2007.
This is fantastic.
This is great. And now we get to put some, you need to find a different pump with ethanol free.
Where would that be?
He mentioned it, but then...
I think it's on the right, or down here, I think.
Yeah,
The
we'll find.
windshield, I can't see.
The ones with red handles have it,
Is that, well,
but he's taking up both sides.
can I whip into there?
There'll be another one.
That's a red handle one, ain't it?
Oh yeah, there you go. That one will work. Perfect. This is awesome, man. Made it to the gas pump.
Yay. It's charging now. See, we'll just leave it running.
Yeah. So what'd you think of the first drive in this thing?
I really wanted that. I want to take it home with me. I love this car so much. I mean, it rides smooth, it drives smooth, the brakes work great, it handles in, I mean, the shocks are probably original. And
They looked like it.
The steering is tight. I mean, it honestly drives like it's not that old. Like it's not been sitting for however many years. So it's really solid all the way around.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Yes.
Seriously, an impressive car to have been sitting in a
Yes,
barn.
Absolutely.
All right, let's show you around this thing.
We're gonna leave it charging and sitting here idling because right now, if you look, you see it is charging currently, but only when it's at idle. So we're just gonna leave it idling right here, and I don't think it's gonna overheat. The temp gauge is good; it's dead center, so it should be pretty good.
And we only got 20 pounds of oil pressure when it's warm, but that's still 20 pounds of oil pressure in a 318.
And it's 1030, so
Yeah.
it might help with some, 1040 or 1540.
I guess the gas gauge doesn't work because unless it does work and we're truly that low.
It could be that.
We do have very little gas in it.
Let's fill her up.
Well, there we go. We made it to the gas station. The car is looking beautiful under the gas station lights. Gotta love the ratty vinyl top with the sweet patina sauce on the roof and on all this awesome blue and rusty patina. It's legitimately perfect. So Dylan's gonna put some good ethanol-free gas in this thing, and then we're gonna take it back to the family and let them enjoy this car for years to come. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please remember to hit that like button. Definitely hit the subscribe button, because we got lots of more cool stuff coming, and that subscribe button helps us a lot more than you know. So go click that right now if you don't mind, and let me know in the comments what you think about what we just did. So Dylan's here putting gas in the car for the first time in 20 years at a gas station probably, and it's just been a super awesome weekend. With what? No, you can't get some buns made.
Keep your buns to yourself, my guy.
But yeah, a huge thank you to you guys for following along on this adventure. This was so cool to be a part of. Getting this car back on the road for the family that owns it. A one owner, all original 68 Dodge Charger. Literally original paint, original interior, numbers matching engine and transmission with the original owner still alive. So if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more stuff like it, go check out Dylan McCool's channel. He's always dragging some rusty car out of the woods and making it run and then cleaning it up to where it looks beautiful again, and then taking it and driving it, because that's what they're for.
Seems like they just don't get our ways. They try to control what we say. Funny things will never go away. It's who we are. We drink iced tea out of jars. We ride in trucks, put our time in at the farm. Nothing wrong with a little southern charm. It's who we are. Born and raised to have a loving heart. If they try to change us, they won't get very far.
It's a little foggy in here.
Yeah, Dylan let me take over after we stopped for gas, and I'm so excited to be driving this car. It's not every day you get to drive a barn find 68 Charger, and life is just good sometimes. And it actually drives really well. He was telling me how good it drove, and it's like remarkably good.
Uh-oh.
And
It's in low. What does
just
that mean?
because he did it. Reaching the tires. Shift's nice. What a machine. Like, legitimately good. I can't believe it sat for as long as it did and it drives the way it does. So we're taking it back to their house, and then we're hitting the road back to Dylan's place. But mission is an absolute success. God, this is awesome.
Can you see?
Yeah.
The fan works. We have a defrost now.
Yeah, but it's more so frosting the windshield with the coolant that's leaking out of the heater.
We're gonna see if we can, clear up the windshield, because we can't see
I think it's
anything.
making it worse. Well, there we go. The car is back in the garage for the night. It gets a place of honor in the nice garage. And we made the drive to the gas station and back, put 10 gallons of gas in it, and found a couple issues they're gonna have to fix, but as a whole, the car runs and drives like a dream. So, yeah. What an amazing weekend, hanging out with these great people up here, hearing the story on this car, all the things that they've done was so cool. Like, legitimately, one of the coolest things I've been a part of. And if you guys enjoy stuff like this, you got to check out Dylan McCool's channel and watch what he's doing with cars all the time. And I do appreciate you guys watching so much. And if you want to see more from me, hit the subscribe button. That does a lot more for us than you know, so I would really appreciate that. And drop a like, drop a comment, tell me what you liked, what you didn't like, and I'll see you guys on the next one.